Bologna is a city in northern Italy, and it's the capital of the Emilia-Romagna region. This region is known as being one of the richest areas in Italy when it comes to Italian cuisine and wine, which is best seen in Bologna. As some of you may have guessed already, Bologna is the home of the world famous Bolognese, and I recently spent a day in the city, trying some of the local cuisine, as well as seeing the historic sites.
Currently, I am in Piazza del Maggiore. Apologies if I butchered that pronunciation. I'm going to do that a lot throughout this video, which is the main square of Bologna. Behind me, we have the Basilica, which I'm going to check out whilst I'm nearby. You're not allowed to use your phones inside the Basilica, and to be honest, there was a service going on as well, so it would have been a bit awkward to film, but it was majestic inside. It was really, really big. I'll leave a photo here so that you guys can sort of get an idea of what it looked like inside. And yeah, if you come to Piazza Maggiore, you may as well check out the Basilica. So we haven't had breakfast yet, so the first port of call is to find a restaurant and get some brunch.
For brunch, we went to a popular local cafe called Pittare, where me and my sister got ourselves a bagel and a croissant, along with some coffee, which came to a total of about 20 euros. We had to queue for a bit to get inside, but it was certainly worth the wait. The most impressive thing about Pittare for me was its wide selection of croissants, such as the pistachio and cookies and cream croissants, something which I've never seen before in my life.
So it just happens that my visit to Bologna happens to coincide with the Bologna Marathon, so that means a lot of places are like closed. I'm currently in Piazza Maggiore, which is like the main public square, and that's also where the finish line is of the marathon. So yeah, there's a lot of people milling about here. It's very, very busy in here. It's a bit of a shame because I can't really see the square properly. Bologna, like Venice, used to have a lot of canals, but sadly most of them have been built over or just removed. But in a few spots around the city, you can see these canals hidden away, and we're going to one of those spots. I think it's called La Finestra. Here it is, here's like a little window, and once you open up, you should be able to get a view of the canal. Well, what was a canal, it looks very dry, basically nothing to see really. And these surrounding buildings look kind of pretty.
One of the most popular landmarks within Bologna is the two towers, which date back to the early 12th century. The taller tower on the right is called Asinelli, and usually you are able to climb up to the top of the tower, giving you one of the best panoramic views of the city. However, at the time of my visit, the two towers had been closed for a while due to restoration work.
So with the two towers being closed, we've decided to go up another tower, the clock tower. It's not as high as the two towers, but should still give good views of the whole city.
The clock tower is located within Piazza Maggiore in a Cuisine palace. The palace also contains this mini gallery which had some fascinating artwork, as well as this beautiful Renaissance interior. To go up to the top of the tower, it costs 8 euros, and to get to the very top of the tower, you have to go up these very narrow wooden steps. In fact, these steps are so dangerous, we had to sign a waiver before we were able to climb them.
Here we are on top of the clock tower, looking right out into the Piazza del Maggiore. We've got the Basilica here on the right, and then the Aspelli Tower all the way in the distance over there. It's definitely worth the view. With the Aspelli Tower being closed, I definitely recommend you guys coming here if you want a nice panoramic view of Bologna. I guess one of the benefits of the marathon happening today is that most of the roads in the historic city centre of Bologna are all closed, which means you can freely walk about in the streets, and yeah, it gives a bit more room.
My sister was feeling a bit peckish, so we decided to grab a quick bite at Indego la Cuisine, which is a cafe that makes a local speciality. Over to my sister to explain more.
So where are we?
We're in Indego la Crescentina, which is essentially a place that do crescentina sandwiches. Now crescentina is like a fried dough, fried bread that's quite special in Bologna. And usually you get them as little like tiny pieces that you're supposed to eat as a snack. But this place make it into like little sandwiches instead. So you can have it as like a little light lunch. And you can get loads of different fillings in them. I went for like a really simple one with like parma ham and a cheese in it. But there are loads of options. And they also have sweet ones too. That's good. It's quite filling though. I feel like the dough is going to be quite the kind of stuff that's going to keep it full for a bit.
Regardless of the weather, whenever you come to an Italian city, you have to try some gelato. We've come to a place called Cremeria La Vecchia. It's a few minutes walk from Piazza La Maggiore. Queue to go inside the shop is very long, so I'm hoping that means the gelato is very good.
The shop had a variety of flavours, and I decided to get myself hazelnut and vanilla, which, as you can see, was just incredible. One of the most famous things about Bologna is its porticos, which were mostly built around 500 to 700 years ago. For those that don't know, porticos are essentially covered walkways, and you can find them dotted all throughout the historic centre of Bologna. In fact, the porticos in the city cover a total length of over 38 kilometres. The porticos are considered so iconic that they were designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2021. There used to be a lot of other porticos throughout Italy, but sadly most have been destroyed.
It's dark now in Bologna, which means it's time for dinner. We've decided to go for a classical Italian dish. We've come to the gallery to try some pizza, and in my opinion, Italy's most famous export.
The gallery make their pizzas in a very unique way. I decided to get myself a meatball pizza, whereas my sister got herself a pizza that came with prosciutto. Whilst the gallery may look like an upmarket establishment, the prices were actually very reasonable, with both pizzas costing about €12 each.
That pizza was so good. There's just something about Italian pizza. When you have pizza in the UK or America or other countries, it usually leaves you feeling slumped, lethargic, whatever. But in Italy, when you have pizza, you still feel fine afterwards. I guess that brings an end to my day here in Bologna. I've had a good time. Bologna is a very walkable city. Everything is very close to each other. It's also a bit different to other Italian cities I've been to. I've been to quite a few Italian cities in my life, but Bologna seems very different. There's not as many tourists around here. In other Italian cities, I feel like it's just heaving with tourists, but Bologna seemed relatively quiet in that regard, and hopefully you've seen that the food here is also great. There's so many great food options around here. I mean, Italy is full of great food, but I feel like Bologna takes it a step further. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If this is the first time you're watching me, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop a like as well. I hope you guys are doing well, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.